Peace.
Blake, things were falling today for you, 60% from three. Was anything different, or was it just you saw one fall and things just kind of went rolling from there?
Just keep it rolling. Got to give a shout out to the GAs and the managers. Me and Jay were in here early before the game getting shots up. I know it was New Year's Eve last night, but they were in here early with us, so shout out to them.
Jalen, just in general, there's a lot of smiles from you on the floor right now at times. It's nice to see that from you. Can you talk about what seems to be a lot of fun for you on the floor right now?
A lot of fun is just knowing that I have guys around me who have my back, who love me. Just coming to practice every day, everybody giving it their all. We have a really great group of guys, and I love being around every single one of them every single day. It's just a really special group. We got to keep it going.
Blake, I have a follow-up for you kind of about, you were hot tonight, obviously, and there was one point during a timeout where I heard Coach Campy look at you and say, Blake, you got to make a shot. And I'm just wondering, after that, you got really hot. Is Coach just a motivator for you? Does that help you, or was it just the fact that you were hot tonight?
Yeah, I'll give Coach some credit. He lit a fire under me. That little 3-minute break kind of helped too, kind of reset my mind. But, I think I've gone 0 for 10 once, 0 for 12 once, like 3 shots. I'm not worried about. I'm going to keep shooting, and my guys got faith in me. Coach has faith in me, so got to have faith in myself and just keep going out and doing what I do.
Jalen, when you're running the point and everything like that and those assist numbers start stacking up, are even you surprised, like when you have a shooter like Blake, when he's in that kind of zone he was in tonight? And I remember Kay Felder telling me this one time where when he played with Travis Bader, he's like, you don't even realize just how the stat sheet just kind of lights up when the shooters are shooting the ball like that. That's got to be a lot of fun, right? When you check those numbers after the game and Blake's in there knocking them down like that.
Yeah, for sure. Coach said I had 4 assists at halftime, and I came out and got a lot more assists. I was pretty upset with Blake because he made 2 in a row, and then he was telling me when I was pushing up the court, trailing, fire. I throw it to him, he's wide open, he throws it away to Osei, and I'm like, Blake, shoot the ball. You just made 2 in a row. Shoot the ball.
And I need another assist.
Yeah, I need another assist.
Let's keep it real out here,
Jalen. Yeah. Gotta get that assist. Sometimes I am surprised, but I know I have great teammates around me who could score the ball. It's just about coaches' great play calls, getting them wide open, just me delivering the pass and they're scoring. So,
Blake, how much of the shot is the pass? Like there were a couple times tonight when we were on the broadcast, I saw you catch that ball directly in the chest, and I knew the shot was going in just by the release. How much of the shot make is the pass?
I think it's a lot. I got a good point guard who gets it in the shooting pocket, so I think if the ball is over my head or on my feet, I still have the same mindset going into the shot, but it definitely helps if it's right there.
No more questions for the players?
You got anything from the live broadcast?
Not yet.
No, but nothing. Okay, guys.
all right, appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
So that didn't work too good. Oh, I'm sure. Why did Chris Conway start and only play 2 minutes? No, I didn't.
All right, questions for Coach?
Coach, why did Chris Conway start and only play 2 minutes?
Well, actually, Neil, he played 8 minutes and 39 seconds.
Oh, he
tonight.
did? Okay.
But he only played 2 minutes in the first half. So everybody understands this, and I've said it on the radio show. I don't want to say it again. I've had a lot of great bigs, and at the end of their careers, Brad Brechting had a 32-point, 18-rebound game, and nobody would have thought that as a freshman. And all the way back to Will Hudson and Corey Petros and those guys, they didn't play much as freshmen. And I always regretted the fact, and like Babatunde, I've always regretted the fact that they didn't get to play as freshmen. So as a coach, you look at things and you say, are we going to develop kids or are we going to win, right? You can't develop kids and win. It just doesn't happen. Players that develop come from programs where the expectations aren't real high. They come in, they develop, and then they have 1 or 2 really good years when they're juniors and seniors, and then they roll back to not being a very good team and try and build again. That's not Oakland. Through our history, we've been in the Horizon League 9 years. We've not only been out of the top 5 once, and we were 6th. I mean, we've been first, second, third about 6 times. That's just our expectations are to win. So in Chris Conway's case, I view that there's a chance that he could be a really good player at Oakland. So how am I going to get him the minutes that I wished I would have got other people? So I'm going to start him. And the first 4 or 5 minutes to me are the least important minutes of all minutes are important, but the least important minutes of the game. He can learn. He can make mistakes. We get film. We can help him. Smitty spent 30 minutes with him after the game Thursday. He made 2 or 3 huge mistakes in the zone, and that's how he learns. And hopefully, and then early in the year I was also starting in the second half, but we have to win now. These games we have to win. So, I'm going to make that decision at halftime. I'm going to get Chris as many minutes as I can get him and still not hurt the development of the team. He knows that. His mother knows that. His high school coach knows that. I've expressed that. He is on board with it, and that's what we're doing. So for anybody that wants to know, that's what's doing. Now, if he starts scoring 8 points and it gets 6 rebounds, he played 8 minutes today, he has 1 rebound, he missed a shot. And that's pretty much what he's been. I think Jalen Moore's probably not going to throw it to him unless he's wide open. He is developing. And, man, when big kids develop at the end, and they're really good at Oakland by the time they're juniors and seniors, and that's what I'm hoping for him. So that answers that question. I don't really want to see it again.
So going back to – no, I'm just kidding, Cam. Speaking about development, though, what about Will Shepherd? We saw a little bit extra from him today. We continue to see – just brick by brick, little bit by little bit. We're seeing more and more from him.
The game's too fast for him, and Will is a 4-point student. But on the basketball court right now, he's about a 2.2 because his mind's going too fast. There was a play Thursday night where he shot, the rebound came right to him, and nobody around him, and he's bobbling it. He's trying to catch it and go score. And he made a play tonight that I think you saw what Will Shepherd can do, and that was a little left-handed catch on a fast break and scored. The more those things happen, the better he's going to get. Will Shepherd can really shoot it. I mean, he is a knockdown shooter. But when, he's just lost out there at times, he needs more minutes, very similar to Chris. And so I've got to find minutes for him too. He's different than Chris, though, because he's not a big. He's big, but he's not a big. He's got to be, in his career here, I expect him to be a perimeter Bader-type shooter, coming off screens, doing some of the things that you saw Blake do today.
Last one from me, Cam. 2.2, by the way, can get you a degree, a 2.2. Trust me, I know, Cam. But with that being said, are we starting to take Jamal Kane for granted a little bit? Just that at the end of the day, it's going to be 23 and 12, and it almost seems kind of pedestrian from him. But these numbers he's putting up, Camp, are incredible.
Well, the way he started the game, I thought we were going to, because I've predicted that he'll have a 40-point, 20-rebound game this year. And the way he started the game, I was thinking this might be it, but he got in foul trouble and the technical, and I also think that he's almost being, because he's so athletic and so good, he's almost being, I don't know, I'm not going to say targeted. That's crap. But, he does things out there, and all of a sudden he's on the ground and there's no call because they couldn't believe that he jumped over everybody to get the ball. Well, why is he on the ground? And, so there's a learning curve for all of us with him. But Jamal's a pro. I said that from day one. He's a pro. And in the Horizon League, we've had a lot of pros, and those teams usually do well when they have a pro.
Coach, in post-game, you mentioned that your team kind of got away from their defensive identity tonight and won with their offense, which is something that you don't see. And you said Micah Parrish is out of the lineup, and that could be a huge part of it. Can you just expand on what he means to this team and the role that you were missing without him?
Well, Micah's the head of the snake. And Tom Izzo said to me, you just can't reverse the ball against your defense. And everybody knows good offenses reverse the ball. You play side to side. And Micah stops that from happening. And then he's also a very good rebounder. You know, rebounding really hurt us tonight. He's maybe our second, or I think he's our second best rebounder statistically. He also pressures the ball, gets steals, makes people run their offense at 28 feet instead of 20 feet. He's just he's the best defensive player in my mind in the country. I said that post game, and I believe it. I believe it. I don't care if anybody else does. I believe it. And since I'm his coach, I'm the guy that needs to believe it. I thought that the game started and they kicked our tail on the boards. And then Trey Townsend got on the floor for a loose ball. About 3 consecutive possessions, we were diving on the floor, and bam, we got stops, and we opened up a 10-point lead, and then the next thing you know, it was 18 point. And, you know, it was all because of our defense, but we were scoring it. We were scoring. We only had, it was 14-13, I think, with 11 minutes to go. So you're looking at a 30-30 game. And we got 50 at halftime. So that last 11 minutes was a blitzkrieg offensively for us. I don't expect to see that very often. You know, that's not, we're not going to hang our hat on that. That's how our old teams hung their hat. We would win 96-85. And everybody says you can't play defense, and it wasn't that. It was that we played at 80 possessions. You know, the first half was a lot of possessions. The second half, we held them to 32 possessions. It was 37 in the first. I think the second half was 32. Unfortunately for us, the first 8 possessions defensively were awful. And then at the end, they made a couple threes. They got it from 20, whatever it was, down to 18 or whatever it ended. But at in between, our defense was really good. The other thing our defense does is it wears you down. It's hard to get a shot. You have to execute tremendous against it. And you'll see teams go in spurts with a boom, 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 and they'll get a layup, and then the boom, 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 they'll get an open 3, and everybody in the stands going, how is that guy open? You can't guard every play, every possession. It's a wear-down effect. And as you saw the other night with Robert Morse, 2 for 17 from the 3 in the second half. You know, tonight you saw a close 14-13 game. All of a sudden it's 35-20. You know, it's just a wear-down effect defensively. If we can play offense like we have, we'll have a very good year.
Got a question from a viewer here. It says, Coach, Osei Price seems to be getting more and more comfortable each game. Talk about his play.
Well, he had to. And I thought he played phenomenal on Thursday. And I don't think he played all that great today. He had a couple drives to the basket he was soft on. Defensively, he was pretty solid. And he made a huge 3. He made a huge 3 in the second half. Well, we had guys, everybody's on the bench. Jamal and Blake are on the bench with 4 fouls. They've cut it maybe down to 13, maybe even less than 13. And Jalen shook and threw it to him, and he knocked it down like a veteran. And that was probably the biggest play of the game. You know, that got it back up to 16 or 17. And I think they had just made a 3 at the other end. And I think that kind of ended the game. So you give him credit. But he stepped up with Micah out. I don't think, you know, before Zion was here, I thought he was fantastic. Then when Zion came, it ate into his minutes. I think it gave him pause to know what his role was. And then when Micah went down and he's in the starting lineup, he sees the confidence that we have as coaches in him and his teammates have in him. And he's I said this early in the year, he is, you know, we got him because of COVID. And he's not the type of player that usually comes to the Horizon League as a recruit. And he's proven that he's a player.
Coach, Youngstown State came in undefeated in the league. They didn't have the game Thursday with Detroit Mercy being out. So what did you do to prepare for them? Were you worried that they were going to be a little more fresh or anything like that?
Well, they won. They swept Wisconsin. And usually at the end of the year, if you look at the team that wins a championship, they usually either swept Wisconsin or they only lost 1 in Wisconsin. That's a really difficult trip. And so for them to open up the season sweeping Wisconsin tells you they're a really good basketball team. They lost a great player in Covington. He got hurt. He's done for the year. I think he ruptured an Achilles. And I respect Jared. I think Jared isn't a good coach. I think he's an outstanding coach. I think he'll prep for you. Their 1-3-1 threw us for a loop at the beginning of the game. I think they knew they were going to struggle to match up with us man-to-man, and he came up with a great idea and a great plan. And so I was very worried about this game. I'll tell you what, my stomach was in my throat the whole day today before the game, because I know that our fans expect you to win a home game against Youngstown. But Youngstown's not Youngstown. Youngstown's a very, they're not what their history shows. He's really good coach, and they have really good players.
Last one for me. Greg, do you have a New Year's resolution? A lot of people want to know about this, I heard.
No. I didn't even know it was a new year. I was in bed at 11:30 last night. I had to get up because Ricky had to go outside at about 3:34 in the morning, but other than that, I didn't even pay attention to that.
One last question from a viewer. It says, Coach, talk about the 3 games coming up this week.
I heard Milwaukee won at Northern Kentucky today without Baldwin. They're a team that who knows what's going on. I mean, they've had some head-scratching games, but they're a team that talent-wise you think's good. They've got an NBA lottery pick supposedly on their team, and so you got them, and then you got Green Bay, who's supposedly supposed to be not very good, and but every game they play, they battle to the end. I mean, I bet you they've lost 6 times this year by a possession or 2. They went to Wright State today, and I heard they lost by 3. So I think we've got 2 wars coming up in that game, and then, of course, you've got the most important game that we'll play all year at Detroit. I don't know. I've not yet heard whether we'll play or not. I'm going to contact Mike later in the day or maybe tomorrow and just find out where they're at with that. We want to play. It's a great rivalry. It's the best rivalry in the league. Comes at a good time. They're 2-0. We're 4-0. Comes at a really good time. Be a hell of a game. Could be great for the fans. I hope we play Wednesday. I hope Mike is back, but I hope we play.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
All right. Thanks, everyone.